With the news of Kelly coming back, can you kind of take us through the process of maybe how long you've been thinking about a move like that and how significant this is for what you're trying to get accomplished here?
When I was first approached about the concept of it, I was like, oh, wow, taken aback a little bit. I hadn't thought about the possibility of unprecedented moment. And as we move forward, we need great leadership. And we need great leadership that's experienced with what we're going to deal with now.
Picture this. Caitlin Clark, fresh off her record-breaking college career, steps onto the WNBA court. The crowd goes wild. She's unstoppable, but behind the scenes, ESPN's stirring up drama about her new coach. What's their deal? I bet you're wondering, is this gonna mess up Clark's game? Don't worry, I've got answers. And let me tell you, what's really happening might surprise you. Stick with me, and I'll break it all down. You know how some college stars just fizzle out when they hit the pros? Well, Caitlin Clark isn't one of them. This girl was an absolute beast at Iowa, breaking records left and right like they were nothing.
She has lived up to expectations, right? I'm looking at her the way I look at LeBron James, right? For us, just in the women's side of things, and the height that she had, the expectations she had.
Let's start with the rookie, Caitlin Clark Kent. Superwoman, you see what I did there? She was on a tear, and last night was no different. Wings, fever. Caitlin Clark set to go as she broke the single-season assist record.
She's been playing like a top 5 player in the league. She's been regularly dishing out double-digit assists in that time frame. Teams can no longer blitz her and trap her.
We're talking about a player who averaged over 30 points per game in her senior year. That's insane. But here's the thing. Everyone was wondering if she could keep it up in the WNBA. The competition's tougher, the game's faster, and the pressure's way higher. Well, Clark's first few games with the Fever? Pure fire. We're talking rookie records falling like dominoes. She's not just playing well, she's dominating. Did you see that game against the Mercury? Clark was cooking, even with Diana Taurasi on the sidelines looking mad. Imagine this. Clark's out there, dishing out assists like she's handing out candy, scoring baskets from everywhere on the court, and grabbing rebounds like she's got magnets for hands. It looked like the Fever were going to crush them, but it wasn't all smooth sailing. The second half got tense, and Clark had to prove she could handle the pressure. You know what's crazy? She didn't just handle it, she thrived in it. When the game got tight, Clark stepped up big time. She was making plays, hitting clutch shots, and keeping her cool when it mattered most. Clark's changing the game, but she's not the only one shaking things up in Indiana. The Fever just brought back their secret weapon from the past. Why is ESPN so skeptical about this game-changing move? Let's talk about Kelly Krauskopf. You're probably thinking, who's that? Well, get ready to have your mind blown. This woman is a basketball legend. She built the Fever from scratch back in 2000.
You know, we've seen such a huge inflection of attention, and you know, her play, just the way she plays the game, I think that's going to be sustainable. Our backcourt, I think, is probably going to be one of the best in the league between her and Kelsey. It's a dynamic duo right there. But we've had points where, incremental points where we've had, you know, the tide lift a little bit and then go back down. So, you know, we're going to work at making sure that we capture all the opportunities.
A couple things that I love that she said. One, she praised her star players. She did not hold back. She admitted to the success that is Caitlin Clark and that this organization has not seen.
We're not just talking about putting together a team. We're talking championships, playoff runs, the whole 9 yards. Krauskopf turned the Fever into a powerhouse. But here's where it gets wild. After making the Fever a force to be reckoned with, Krauskopf decided to level up. She jumped ship to the NBA, spending 6 years with the Pacers. Can you imagine the knowledge she picked up there? It's like she went to basketball graduate school. Now she's back with the Fever, and you'd think everyone would be thrilled, right? Wrong. ESPN's out here acting like it's a problem. They're saying stuff like, is she too out of touch? Come on, really? This woman breathes basketball. She's got WNBA and NBA experience. That's like having a superpower in the sports world. You want to know what's even crazier? The Fever's CEO practically begged her to come back.
You know, wow, if you told me and said, hey, list the 3 people, if you could have anybody you wanted in this new role, I would probably have listed Kelly 1, 2, and 3. When the league first started, Kelly was in the league office. And then the Simon family brought her to Indy to to start the Indiana Fever. She's got all the bases covered. So once I heard that this was going to happen, man, if I could have done a flip or a handspring, I probably would have done it. Fortunately, I didn't try that.
Mel Rhines, the big boss at Pacers Sports and Entertainment, was all over this. He knew Krauskopf was the secret sauce they needed. And Krauskopf, she's all in. She said, anytime you're asked to return to a place that you helped build, you know it's special. That's not just a job, that's passion. Just when you thought Krauskopf's return was the perfect setup for a feel-good story, ESPN drops a bombshell that's got everyone talking. Are they seeing something we're not? Or is this just another case of stirring up drama for ratings? You'd think with Caitlin Clark lighting up the court and Krauskopf back at the helm, ESPN would be all over this Cinderella story. But nope, they're out here acting like party poopers at a championship parade. Instead of celebrating this dream team in the making, they're busy stirring up drama like it's their job. Oh wait, I guess it kind of is. But here's what's really got me scratching my head. ESPN's questioning if Krauskopf's the right fit, as if building a championship team before wasn't enough proof of her skills. They're acting like her time in the NBA was some kind of basketball vacation, not a masterclass in running a pro team. It's like they're watching a different movie than the rest of us. You want to know the wildest part? While ESPN's busy doubting, Krauskopf's already got a master plan in motion. She's not just focused on Clark, she's building a whole system around her. Aaliyah Boston and Kelsey Mitchell. We're talking about a potential dynasty in the making, and ESPN's over here worried about whether Krauskopf still knows how to use a clipboard. Next level stuff? You ain't seen nothing yet. Krauskopf's got a secret weapon that's about to turn the WNBA upside down. And it's not just about Clark or Boston, it's a long-term strategy that could change women's basketball forever. But here's the kicker. ESPN's completely missing it. So while ESPN's busy doubting, let's talk about what's really going down with the Fever. Krauskopf isn't just bringing in star power, she's building a whole new culture from the ground up. Imagine this. Clark's explosive play, Boston's dominance in the paint, and Mitchell's veteran leadership. That's a triple threat that could dominate for years to come. But it's not just about the players. Krauskopf's got this whole vision for making the Fever a brand like Apple. You know what's wild? She's not thinking short term. This is a years-long plan to dominate the WNBA. She's talking about building an enduring brand that'll be the leader in the country. Can you imagine a WNBA team with the same kind of recognition as the NBA's biggest franchises? And get this, Krauskopf's even impressed with the current coach, Christy Sides. Says she's resilient and a culture builder. That's huge, because it means Krauskopf isn't just coming in to tear everything down. She's looking at what's working and building on it. You want to know what's really crazy? Krauskopf's not just focused on winning games. She's talking about changing the whole landscape of women's basketball. We're talking about elevating the entire sport, not just one team. That's the kind of vision that could take the WNBA to a whole new level.